next lecture for PHD123, which is Otic preparation. So I'm going to cover the introduction part, otic anatomy and also physiology, otic preparation, physical-chemical consideration, methods of preparation, containers, labeling and storage for our otic preparation. Okay, at the end of this lecture, you should be able to define what is actually otic preparation, identify different types of otic preparation, recall the composition and method in preparing otic solutions, identify suitable containers, labeling and storage for otic preparation. Okay, so for introduction, otic is actually ear. Okay, so when we are saying about otic preparation, it is actually preparation intended for the use of our ear. Okay, so ear problems, for example, otitis media are common, especially in pediatric, due to their anatomical condition of the ear. Okay, so various ear preparation have been used for local effect. So meaning that it is usually for local effect, not for systemic effect. Okay, the outer ear is a skin-covered structure and susceptible to the same dermatological condition as other parts of body surface. So that is why otic is actually under topical. So meaning that we also cover the outer part of our ear. Okay, so the part, it is just the same like the other part of body surface, skin condition which arise, for example, dermatitis, and are treated using various topical dermatological preparation. Okay, so this is how our otic looks like, anatomy and physiology. So the next one is external ear. So the external auditory canal forms an ideal environment for bacterial growth when, okay, so usually in a normal condition, we won't get the infection. But how do we get the infection? It is, the first one is when moisture accumulates. For example, water clogged ears, like you are swimming and then the ear, not the ear, the water got into your ears. So that is how you got infection. The second one is protective layers of skin traumatized by fingernails, cotton tip swabs, hairpins inserted into ear for cleaning. So this is the problem with us. Usually we love so much to clean our ears. So when we use that thing, sometimes we are like, without unintentionally, we are like hurting our ears. Okay, so what happened after that is skin integrity is being penetrated. So the pathogen or microorganism enter and initiate an infection. Okay, so the third one is other injuries result from burns, accidents, ear piercing, and also improperly fitted hearing aids. So even though you are using the hearing aids, also you need to wear it properly. So it goes the same when you are using contact lens. You need to wear it properly, or else it will cause infection. Okay, so otic preparation are product applied to or in the ear to treat condition of the external and middle ear. Okay, so meaning the external part and also the middle part. We never go into the deeper part. Okay, so it's just outer ear and also the middle ear, not the inner ear. Okay, so it's only until this part. Okay, so indications of otic preparation. So otic preparation usually being used to treat first uncomplicated infection. For example, you use chloramphenicol or acetic acid. The second one, softening and removal of earwax cerumen built up, for example, using hydrogen peroxide and also sodium bicarbonate. Third one, cleaning up the ear after infection. For example, we use spirit. Then the fourth one, drying up external ear and removing any fluid from the ear. Remember, when there are accumulation of fluid or water, it can cause infection. Okay, for example, we are using astringent and also aluminum acetate. Then we can also use otic preparation as antiseptic and also anesthetic, for example, phenol. And then the last one is dermatitis of ear canal, outer layer. For example, you use ciprofloxacin, dexamethasone, and also betamethasone. Okay, there are two types of otic preparation. The first one is ear drops and the second one is ear sprays. So what are the differences between these two types? The ear drops is usually used for outer and inner ear application. However, the spray is only for outer part only. Okay, so the eardrops is wet application. Ear sprays is dry application. Eardrops contain anti-infective, wax, softener, and etc. Okay, and then you don't need to prime your eardrops. Okay, so at the container, usually the bottle come with the dropper. Okay, so delivered directly into ear canal. For ear spray, you should prime it first before use, and then the container usually is a bottle with puffer or insufflator. So it is delivered to the outer ear because it's only for outer ear infection. So this is how otic infection looks like. Okay, you can see it is abnormal. There is inflammation, and sometimes there is also pus. Okay, this is how it looks like when there are inflammation at your ears. Okay, this is what we call as acute pericorditis, disorder of the auricular cartilage. So meaning the cartilage is inflamed. Skin of the ear is diffusely swollen, painful and tender. So usually it looks red and it's also hot over there. Okay, so next we go for otic solution. When you want to do an otic preparation, the main components of otic solution is usually your active ingredients and also your vehicle. Okay, so the active ingredients you can choose either local anesthetic, cleansing agent, anti-infective, anti-inflammatory, or liquid for warming or drying external ears. Okay, so it depends on what is the purpose of you doing that otic solution. And of course, the second one, you need the vehicle and solvent to carry your active ingredients. Okay, so the vehicles and solvents usually used is glycerin or water. Okay, other than glycerin and water, we have other types of vehicles such as viscous liquid. This vehicle permits the drug to remain in the ear for a long time by increasing viscosity. For example, glycerin, propylene glycol, and also polyethylene 300. Either are used alone or in combination with a surfactant to aid in the removal of cerumen. So meaning if you have wax, build up of wax inside of your ear, then you can use this one. Okay, anhydrous glycerin, being hygroscopic, tends to remove moisture from surrounding tissue, thus reducing swelling. Okay. Next one, we have water and alcohol. Can be used for some medication, but primarily used for irrigation. So meaning that if you want to clean your ear, then usually we will use water and also alcohol. As the preparation therapeutic aim is to keep the ear canal dry to minimize bacterial or fungal growth. When we have the alcohol will dry up that area. Okay. The fourth one is vegetable oils, non-aqueous, which act as a good vehicle as it softens earwax for easy removal. So meaning if you don't have those sodium bicarbonate, you can also use vegetable oil to remove any cerumen build up. Okay. Number 5, mineral oil used as vehicle for some antibiotics and anti-inflammatory medication, for example, liquid paraffin. And the last one is petrolatum, soft or hard paraffin. So this is being used in ointment formulation. Not usually used, but you can make your otic into ointment formulation. Okay. Okay, so there are 4 types of otic preparation as I mentioned earlier. We have otic solution, we have otic irrigation solution, we have otic ointment, and also we have otic powder or insufflation. Okay, so this is how it looks like, or this is the example of otic solution usually in the market. So usually we put antibiotic inside of it. We also have otic irrigation solution or those otic preparation for cleaning your ears, and then we have otic ointment and also otic powder. Okay, so the liquid one is usually otic irrigation solution. So aqueous solution that are intended for installation in the outer ear, or solution that are prepared with glycerin or other solvent and dispersing agent. Okay, this is one of the example. We have surfactant, we have weak sodium bicarbonate, we have boric acid as preservative, and we also have aluminum acetate. Okay, so maybe warm to 37 degrees Celsius before installation into the ear, and then used to remove earwax, purulent discharges of infection, and to remove foreign body from the ear canal. So this is the function of it. Okay, other than it dissolve the earwax, it can also remove any foreign material inside of your ear. The second one is otic suspension. We use otic suspension when a long duration of effect is desired. Okay, and then the second part, we use otic suspension when the drug is not soluble in the vehicle. Therefore, we need to suspend the drug. Okay, addition of suspending agent may not be necessary because most of the vehicles are relatively viscous agent. Okay, so usually you don't need suspending agent for otic preparation. Okay, otic ointment and gels applied directly to the exterior of the ear, not commonly used. Use of any ointment base. So you can choose any ointment base such as the soft paraffin, hard paraffin, just to make this ointment. Okay. Example, usually we will prepare otic in ointment and gels if you want to make antibacterial, antifungal, and also to put anti-inflammatory such as corticosteroid. Okay, last one, otic powder or insufflation. It made of finely divided powders administered to ear canal, not too common because the ear lacks of fluid and a powder wax build-up may occur. Okay, so we generally not advise people to make powder into otic preparation. Okay, it may contain antibacterial, antifungal agent, which will create a repository of the drugs. Okay, use small rubber or plastic bulb insufflator to blow or insufflate the powder into the ear. You cannot use your hand. Okay, so this is how the insufflator or puffer looks like. Okay, next, physical-chemical consideration. When you want to make your otic preparation, these 5 properties need to be considered. Okay, the first one is solubility, the second one is viscosity, the third one is tonicity, the fourth one is surfactant, and the last one is preservative. Okay, although sterility is not a consideration, the products need to be clean. Okay, remember, because we are using it for topical or for external use. So we don't need it to be sterile, but of course we need to ensure that it is clean. Okay, solubility. The drug must be soluble in the vehicle, therefore they must be compatible. Okay, so meaning that the drug and so the vehicle must be compatible to each other. If not soluble, you may prepare it as suspension. The second one, viscosity. To keep the medication in the ear canal, you need to make sure that you control the viscosity. If it is too thin, the medication will drain out of the ear. If it is too thick, it may not reach the inner recess of the ear. So make sure that you control the viscosity. The third one, tonicity and hygroscopicity. So this involves in the movement of the fluid. Okay, so when you put the fluid inside your ear, to aid on withdrawing fluids from the immediate area of the ear. So remember, we don't want the liquid just to enter our ear. We want it to be being able to remove it out from your ear also. So hypertonic, some fluid may be withdrawn from the ear, thereby releasing some of the pressure. So if you make it into the hypertonic one, it will flow out. Okay. If it is hypotonic, this fluid may flow into the ear. So you need to control the tonicity. Okay, then next, surfactant. It may help the medication diffuse and spread out, okay, inside of your ear. Aids in emulsifying and breaking up earwax. Okay, so it can help to break the earwax. It also helps to decrease the surface tension, and it makes it easier to remove any foreign material. So meaning that if it is for irrigation, so of course you need to put this surfactant. Okay, example, tonsonium bromide and also triethanolamine polypeptide oleate. Okay, so the next one is preservative. Many otic preparations are self-preserving because of the high concentration of glycerin and propylene glycol. Okay, so usually if you use glycerin or propylene glycol, it is more than 20% of the total preparation. Okay, if these agents are not present, so preservative agents are needed. Okay, for example, chlorobutanol 0.5%, thimerosal 0.01%, or combination of parabens or esters. Okay, so next, Other ingredient. Okay, so other ingredient you can also add antioxidant, for example sodium bisulfate, stabilizer, for example chelating agent, ceraminolytic agent, for example carbamide peroxide in glycerol, so to break up the wax. Okay, so next one that I didn't put in physical chemical properties, you need to ensure the pH for Otic preparation. Okay, so the normal pH is around 5 to 7.8. Okay, so alert, there may be subtle differences in the formulation that could be potentially bothersome to the patient, especially in the combination of active ingredients and storage. So it depends on the exception of the patient. Okay, some can tolerate combination of some ingredients, some could not. Okay, so I'll explain later. Okay, for example, suspension combination of polymyxin bisulfate, neomycin sulfate, and hydrocortisone become more acidic. So when you combine these three, what happens is the pH is around 3 to 3.5. Okay, so compared to the commercial product, so if you do it extemporaneously, you get it more acidic. If the commercial one is around 4.8 until 5.1. Okay, so what happened after that is consequently there is a risk that a burning and stinging sensation can occur when the drugs are introduced into the ear of young children. So you need to use it with caution. Okay. Okay. So what happened regarding the pH for Otic preparation? The higher the time, the higher the pH. Okay. So meaning that the formulation becomes more acidic. Okay. For example, pH 3.0. Thus, if stored for a period of time, the acidity could cause irritation to the ear canal. Okay. So, example, glacial acetic acid will produce an acid environment in the ear, which is unfavorable for bacteria to survive in. Okay. This helps to control an infection. So, meaning that some preparation we want it to become acidic because we want to kill the bacteria. Okay. However, aluminium is used in combination to reduce itching, stinging, and also to reduce the inflammation. So meaning that when we know that when we put this glacial acetic acid, it will cause acidic environment. But then we want to comfort our patient. That's why we add aluminium into our preparation. Okay. Okay, so this is just a repetition for the Otic preparation. If you remember, I've already told you about the topical. For the Otic also the what we call it, the packaging is just the same. We use amber fluted medical bottle and also small glass or plastic container with a dropper. Okay, so the typical size is 10 ml or 5 until 15 ml because we just want to use it for around a week or 2 weeks. It's not more than that. Okay, so here and then usually the packaging comes with dropper. Okay, so this is how they looks like. Okay, so this is the general container. So it is usually packaged as small volume, 5 to 15 ml. The container come with a dropper, either glass dropper or plastic dropper. And then you can also package it into syringes, but without needle, it's just the syringe. Okay, you can also use tubes, and you can also use puffer and insufflator to administer the preparation. Okay, for labeling, label with appropriate expiry date. Okay, so the appropriate labeling should you should put this card after. So you put the appropriate date. Okay, and then you can also put shake well before use, not to be taken, do not swallow, instead for external use only. So meaning that you give a specific direction for the patient. Okay, and you can also add for the ear only, use only as directed, keep out of reach of children, and then for the storage, store in a cool, dry place. Okay. Okay. So for the storage and shelf life, the storage should be stored at room temperature or refrigerated. It depends on the preparation. Some need to be refrigerated and some only at the room temperature. Do not keep in freezer. And then the shelf life for the Otic preparation, if you prepare it extemporaneously, meaning freshly prepared, or it contains water, so it is aqueous product, it lasts only for around 2 weeks. If non-aqueous liquid, discard content 4 weeks after opening if extemporaneous, or maximum one is 6 months. This is for the commercial one. Okay, 6 months. Okay, so example of formulation. As I told you earlier, there is like a lot of indication for Otic preparation. So the first one is for removing cerumen. So you can make urea and hydrogen peroxide. For example, you put carbamide peroxide and also glycerin. So dissolve the carbamide peroxide sufficiently in the glycerin to volume, and then package and label. This one you don't need to put preservative because the vehicle is only glycerin. Okay. Okay, so how about if you want to use it for the outer part of your ear, for outer ear infection, you can use aluminum acetate. So the formula is aluminum subacetate, then glacial acetic acid, and also purified water. Okay, so slowly and with stirring, add the glacial acetate into the aluminum subacetate, and then add sufficient purified water to volume and mix well. Package and label. So remember, the one for this formulation, we actually want that acetic acid to make the acidic environment to kill the bacteria. But we add aluminium to reduce the stinging, to reduce inflammation, and to give comfort to our patient. So remember, what is the function? Which one is the main component and which one is actually just to help to reduce the side effect of low pH. Okay. Okay, so next we have sodium bicarbonate ear drops. This one, if you remember back, this is just the same with peroxide one. Okay, this is actually as ceriminolytic. So you want to broken the earwax. Okay, so the formulation is simple. You just need sodium bicarbonate, glycerol, and also water. Okay, so weight the sodium bicarbonate, dissolve in 6 ml of water, and then slowly make up to 7 ml with water, and then add glycerol, and then package in hexagonal amber reverb bottle with dropper, and then label. Okay, so next I'm going to cover for administration of ear drops and spray. Okay, so remember we have two types, ear drops and also ear spray. Drops for internal and also outer area of the ear. For the spray, it's only for outer infection. Okay. Okay, so this is the general idea on how to use ear drops. I'm not going to explain further about this one because I've already give you the link for the YouTube link. So I'm hoping that you can go and click the YouTube link and listen to these 10 steps. Okay. Okay, so for middle ear infection, while the person receiving Otic solution, okay, sorry. So this one, the one that I give to all of you, the 10 steps, this is for general one. Okay, so meaning that if you get any Otic preparation, you can use these steps to install or to administer the Otic preparation. Okay, but this one is specific. So this one is for middle ear infection. Okay, so while the person receiving Otic solution lies on his or her side, the person giving the drop should gently press the tragus 4 times in a pumping motion. Okay, so tragus is actually the middle part of our ear. So someone lie maybe on your lap, and then you drop the Otic preparation, and then you press the tragus 4 times. Okay, this will allow the drops to pass through the hole or tube in the eardrum and into the middle ear, because we target for our preparation to go to the middle part. Okay. Okay, for an ear canal infection, so meaning that we want it to go deeper. So while the person receiving the medication lies on his or her side, the person giving the drop should gently pull the outer ear upward and backward. Okay, so meaning that you are holding the ear, or what we call it as Chupintelinga. So you hold the Chupintelinga and then you pull it upward and backward. Okay, so this will allow the eardrops to flow down into the ear canal. Okay, so other than that, patient information. So we already covered the composition, the type of Otic preparation, and then what are the physical chemical properties that we need to control in order for us to make a good Otic preparation. So this part we are going to cover the patient information. Okay, the bottle or container of medication should first be warm. Okay, so if you go back to the 10 steps, there are instructions that you need to warm first your otic preparation. Moreover, for example, if you are using chloramphenicol ear drops, usually you need to keep it in the fridge. So what happened that you should warm it on your palm. Okay, so just move your that CMC drop on top of your palm and then roll it for a few minutes. Okay, so after it becomes like the same temperature with your body, only after that you can administer it. Okay, if the product is a suspension, shake well prior to withdrawal into the dropper. Clean the ear first, use only what is necessary, discontinue as soon as possible, and remove remaining debris. Okay, so remember, when you want to administer the otic preparation, you need to make sure that your ear is clean. Drop the correct number of drops into the ear. Okay, in order to provide sufficient time for aqueous preparation to act, it is necessary for the patient to remain on his side for a few minutes, so the drops do not run out of the ear. So remember, when you after the patient already receiving that drops, he or she need to lie down for a few minutes. Okay, then after that, place a cotton or gauze pad in the ear to keep the liquid from escaping, and then to avoid contamination, do not touch the dropper tip or let it touch your ear or any other surface. So that's why when you want to administer the otic solution, you must make sure that there are distance between your ear and also the dropper. Okay, for wax removal preparation, it should not be used for more than 4 days. Okay, ear wax removal drops should be instilled and then removed by the patient with an ear syringe. Okay, so meaning that if there's still remaining of that earwax, the drops, you need to syringe it out. Okay, some ear drops formulation have low pH and may cause stinging upon administration. Okay, so like the one that I give example, the acetic acid, it can cause stinging. That's why we add aluminium. Okay, for antibiotic ear drops, not necessary to finish the entire bottle. Therapy can last 20 to 30 days depending upon the dosage regimen. So it depends on the regimen. Therefore, patients should be instructed to continue using the drops for 3 days beyond the time ear symptoms disappear. So meaning that if, like for example, if you have infection to the ear, sometimes you feel like they are like inflammation, and then you feel like tinnitus, they are sound over your ear. So after it disappears, please continue using it for around 3 days. Okay, product for swimmer's ear or otitis externa may take up to 7 to 10 days to demonstrate efficacy. So meaning that if you just use it for around 3 to 4 days, then you feel like it's not working, because for swimmer's ear it takes time. Okay, so you need to wait until 7 to 10 days. Okay, so the next one, what is the advantages and disadvantages of otic? Okay, so the advantages is a vastly higher concentration of antibiotic can be delivered to the site of infection. Okay, the medication delivered topically have no systemic effect. So meaning that we want to target locally, then you can use the otic preparation. Okay, topical delivery allows alteration of the local microenvironment. So remember, because it is local, then usually we just want to alter that environment. Okay, ototopical medication are usually less expensive than comparable to systemic medication. So because it is just for local effect, therefore it's not really expensive. Okay, however, the disadvantages. Okay, effective delivery to the infected site may be difficult or impossible. Drug administered ototopically are capable of local toxicity within the middle ear and inner ear. So meaning that it is capable to cause toxicity to your ear. Okay, ototopical agents also can produce local sensitivity reaction. Okay, like the case of acetic acid. Okay, agents administered ototopically have no systemic effect. They don't have any systemic effect. Okay, and they can also alter the microenvironment in an inappropriate way. So meaning that you want to treat that condition, but it can worsen the condition. Moreover, in the case of low pH, okay, all drugs produce debris requiring further cleaning after use. So meaning you need to clean your ear after using the otic preparation. Okay, so that's all for otic preparation. Next, I've already covered the topical otic. So the next one, we are going to cover the liquid for body cavities. Okay, see you. Bye.